Mezzojuso is a small town located in the province of Palermo, set among the natural reserve of the Ficuzza forest. Equidistant about 40 kilometers from the city of Palermo and 40 kilometers from Agrigento, it is easily accessible. There are plentiful vineyards, olive groves, and land for cattle, sheep, and goats. Arriving there, you can admire many natural beauties. In the center of the historic town, it's easy to get lost among the narrow streets, stairs, and alleyways. Mezzojuso is one of 5 towns in Sicily that were settled by the Albanian or Arbreshe people, who brought their Byzantine Greek and Latin rites, customs, traditions, and language in the 1400s. Today, some of those traditions are still alive. On this episode of You, Me, and Sicily, we tell you more and show you around this small ancient town. Plus, we'll tell you about some of the local specialty street foods and sweets. Mezzojuso means in Arabic Mezzojuso, which translates in English to house or hamlet of Joseph. It could also be translated into Italian, meaning halfway down, because the town is located halfway down a hill. A small Saracen group settled here from about the 10th century. Then the town was passed into Norman hands in 1091. The village was nearly depopulated in the 15th century. The monastery of St. John granted settlement to 48 Albanian soldiers' families in 1444. Shortly thereafter, when the Balkan Peninsula was being invaded by the Turks and Ottomans, numerous other refugees from Albania came to Sicily and settled in places like Mezzojuso and Piano dell'Albanese. We did an entire episode on that city, also in the province of Palermo. I'll leave you a link near the end of this video. In fact, Mezzojuso is part of the diocese of the Eparchy of Piano dell'Albanese. As is the case in Piano dell'Albanese, many people preserve the Byzantine rites of the Albanian founding fathers. The history of its people has left a tangible mark in the monuments and works of art that adorn the center and in the traditional religious events. Some say Mezzojuso is the Athens of the Albanian colonies in Sicily. The first settlers from the Balkans found this area partly destroyed and started by rebuilding the town. The community increased in population, and by 1529 they established a fraternity. The 2 simple but elegant Greek and Latin Rite churches are right next to each other in the center of town. They symbolize how the 2 rites, Latin and Greek Orthodox, still coexist in the town. The Church of Maria Santissima Annunziata is Latin, but initially was of Greek rite. The original church was built after the expulsion of the Saracens. It had a single nave without an apse. And between 1527 and 1572, it was expanded to adapt to the increase in the population. In 1680, the church was enlarged again in the opposite direction. The Church of San Nicolo de Mara of the Byzantine Rite was founded in 1516 by the Albanian exiles, also to fulfill the spiritual needs of the population. Inside, Byzantine icons from the 16th century are still preserved. Some historians say the Church of San Nicolo and that of Santa Maria de Mezzojuso are the only two churches in perfect Byzantine style existing in the Greek Albanian colonies of Sicily. Next to the church is the facade of the so-called castle of Mezzojuso, although it's not a castle in the present sense of the word, but a place where many passing through stayed overnight. Next we go to the far end of the town, to the Basilian Monestary. On the way to the monastery, we stopped at the Piazza Principe Corvino to admire this ancient water fountain built in the 1700s. And the statue of Padre Pio. By the way, arancina, as they call it on this side of the island, or rice ball filled with different fillings, are a popular staple in many people's diet here. But so are sfincioni, or pizzas. These delicious desserts were made at a local pastry shop. Don't they look amazing? Monastery, built in 1609 by Andrea Reres, son of a nobleman, is an important religious and cultural center for the Albanians in Sicily. Here, monks worked, many who came from Crete and other parts of Greece, and they distinguished themselves in the Albanian culture and poetry. The Basilian Monastery houses a library with very rare Greek and 16th century manuscripts. Near the monastery is the Church of Santa Maria del Grazie. It's said to be the first church that the Albanian refugees built for their spiritual needs. But according to some historians, this is the parish church donated by King Roger II in 1132 to a monastery in Palermo. Later, it was entrusted to the Albanian exiles. Mezzojuso, the Athens of Sicily, a culturally, traditionally, and historically rich town. Thanks for watching this episode of You, Me, and Sicily. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Leave us a comment. What did you think? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on another episode of You, Me, and Sicily. Ciao.